Alright guys, just looking to review the Thursday night game, Knights vs Dolphins. Go over the fantasy relevant players if you missed the game, and how we're going to look at these players going forward. So we'll start with Kalen Ponga. He had a very, very good game. A lot of attacking stats in there, just seemed to be in everything. Actually had a quiet first 10 minutes, but after that he had his hands on the ball almost in every set. And he set up 3 tries. He's not going to do that every week, but when he does, it's nice to see that he gets a score way up in the 80s. He had a healthy amount of kick meters, run meters as well, a couple tackle breaks and an offload, also a try-saving tackle in there. And I think if you don't own him, it definitely will feel quite alarming. But the fact that they have the one more game and then going into a bye, I'm just not sure if it's feasible to jump onto him right now. I would say the only way you'd want to be buying him next week is if one of your current guns gets injured, and then he would be someone to definitely target. But I just don't think he's not going to do this every week, because I'm not too sure if you want to chase these points, but he's definitely someone to start thinking about how you're going to get him, because he looked very good, and playing it in the wing fullback position, it's just very handy in a tough position there. Alright, Bradman Best, he was also in everything. He was getting a lot of good ball from Ponga, and we see that with over 200 meters gained, a try as well, try saver, a few tackle breaks. So Bradman Best, one that probably isn't as highly owned, but if you did start with him because of the Knights early draw, well done. But I think he's someone that I also just would not look at buying until round 5. But even then, he's not going to do this every week. He has boom games, but he also has low games. So yeah, that's what I'd be saying for Bradman Best. Isaiah Katoa, a very nice score of 75 with a try. Very nice kick meters, 15 points there, 150 run meters as well. I think Katoa is going to average probably a tick under 50 this season, and he's priced at around 43, so there is a little bit of value there, but I think you can just let this one through to the keeper. Can't own everyone, and we already have quite a few halves, so we don't really have the space. Dylan Lucas, this is one I wish I had taken in round 1. He got a nice try. That left edge, Ponga, Best, Lucas, and Sharp has just been, this whole game they were going down there and they looked lethal. They all scored big points. But the thing about Lucas is his base. He's got 47 tackles there, 145 run meters. That is extremely golden for a centre. Even though you have to pay up the big bucks for him, I think he was definitely worth the buy, and I wish I had him. So he's another one where I would be possibly looking to jump on in round 5, see how he goes next week, hoping that he might get a score in the 40s, but I just can't see that happening. He just looks like a gun. He's just in tackles, always taking a carry. So yeah, Lucas, definitely one to put on your watch list and work out how you can get him in. Then we go down to Greg Marzou, had a very nice game, 6 offloads to hand. He just looked like every carry he was looking to flick it out the back to someone. Also 10 tackle breaks, that's just standard for him. Seems to just always break a tackle every time he takes a carry. But yeah, 69 points, that is well above what he's priced at, and he's going to be starting to make some nice coin. In terms of buying, I think he's someone you could look at. Seemingly that the Knights are they've played themselves into some pretty hot form right now, and he didn't even score a try and he scored that, so I think he's in for quite a few more tries, and we could see him averaging what he did in 2023, which is around 53 points. And so right now, if we just have a look at what he's priced at, 37, his break-even's 28, so he could go up by about 40k. So I'd say that would price him at around 40 points. So there would still definitely, if you think he can average around that 50 mark, he could be someone that you look at bringing in possibly next week. But it just, if you already have a Knights player, bringing another one in before the bye may not be the smartest decision. But definitely in round 5, there's a few guys here that we have to have a serious think about. Another one of those being Fletcher Sharp, 68 points. He was also in everything, great support play. He made a nice run off an offload through the ruck. Almost scored off it, but didn't. But yeah, he's got a fairly solid base as well, 21 tackles, 120 run meters. And I think he was one that it was kind of hard to predict how he would go. I sort of projected him around low 40s, which was where he was priced. But it seems like he could be someone, a candidate that's going to average, 50 plus here, and he's got the dual position as well. Although we'd probably be wanting to play him at wing fullback. So yeah, add him to the watch list. He's another potential buy. There's, Ponga, Best, Lucas, Mazu, Sharp. They're all players that have high ceilings, high potential here, and we've seen it in this game. So yeah, those would be the top 5 Knights players that I'd be looking at right now. Down to Herbie Farnworth. Standard game from him. He just, no matter what, seems to find his way in the 50s. And unfortunately, that's where he was priced. So he's just someone that's probably a little bit irrelevant right now. And someone that you probably can just ignore and hope that he has a few low games, drops a bit of cash, and that's when I'll be looking to target him. Adam Elliott played 49 minutes, had a very nice high PPM game, 55 points, but I would be saying Jacob Saifidi got injured here and only played the 23 minutes, I think, so I would probably think that Elliott maybe got an extra 5-10 minutes here. Wouldn't be expecting it every week. Although if he does start at lock, then maybe. But we do see Adam Elliott have games like this, but he also has low PPM games where he might play the 50 minutes and just score 35 points, and he's already very expensive, priced at 46 points. So I would probably be ignoring this score here. Dan Gagai scores a try, gets a 50-pointer. That's about where he's priced at, and just like Farnworth, I'd probably be ignoring him just because he's priced so high, and you're basically paying for what you get with him. Kai Pearce-Paul, now he got sin-binned here, and he could be in a bit of trouble. He went into a tackle and shouldered shoulder to the head, basically, and could get a suspension, not too sure, but I think it might be likely that he does. So if it's just the one game, you're going to obviously have that game missed and then into the bye, so he will miss the next 2 games. But he did look quite good, and he had a few errors in his game, a few missed tackles, but if he didn't get that sin bin, he probably would have ended up in the mid-50s score, and he is currently only priced at around, I think it was about 45 points. Let's just have a look here. Yeah, 45 points, so he does have the potential to be a 50-point player, I would say. So even if he does get suspended for the 2 weeks, if you can somehow hold, I'd probably recommend that, because you're going to want him after that, and if he, say, got injured for 2 games, you'd probably be holding in that case. So I would hold on to him. He looked pretty good. He looked, lively in the team, and maybe it's because the Knights were just on fire today, but even with a few negatives, he was on for a good score, so I'd be holding on to him. Now, Tom Gilbert probably heavily transferred in this week, and 43 is not a disaster. It's not 65, but if you did bring him in this week, I would say don't panic. The Dolphins weren't really that good today, and he stood out as rock solid in defence. And unfortunately, he only did get the 50 minutes. But I think you can write him in to get 50 to 55 minutes a week, and his base is so solid. If he just gets a couple tackle breaks and offload in there, his scoring will be fine. So I would not worry about him. Do not think about selling him at all. And don't be too upset with the 43, because that is still above his break even. He's going to keep making money. And yeah, just don't panic on Tom Gilbert. Daniel Saifidi had played a lot of minutes here, 55 minutes. I think it's backing up from 50 last week. But a 42, he's someone that, there could be a little bit of value there, but I just don't think he's worth diving into. Historically, he doesn't have too high of a PPM. So actually, let's just see what he's currently priced at. 34. So yeah, he's had two 42s in a row. Probably going to be priced at 35 next week, and I can't see him getting any extra minutes than this. So maybe you could say he had 7 points of value, but I just wouldn't be going there. Matt Croker played 46 minutes today. I think he probably would have got an extra 10 from the Saifidi injury as well. So he's going to make a bit of money here, but while he's starting off the bench, you never know what his minutes could be. It could range from 25 to 40 every week. So I'd just be ignoring him there. James Schiller scored a nice 2 tries here and didn't really do much else. Just the 5 tackles and 100 run meters. So yeah, already priced at 500k. Probably you can just ignore him. Jake Averillo, he looked like every time he had the ball, he looked pretty good here. He was one of Dolphins' best, I would say. But yeah, just a mid-range price centre. Gonna score you mid-30s probably most weeks. I would be ignoring him. Jeremy Marshall-King, now he played the 80 again, I think. Did he play the 80? Last week he might have played a few less minutes. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so he played the 80 this week. Didn't last week and scored more, but that's just how it goes. A lot of tackles were in that first game last week. But yeah, 38 and 80 minutes. That's obviously not what you want if you're an owner. But if you do own him, I'd probably just be holding on. It's nice to see that he does get the 80 there, even with Donahoe on the bench. But yeah, just a low game, a few missed tackles. He just made tackles and didn't really do much else. But just a standard sort of score that you'd expect from him there. Don't sell, don't buy. The Hammer, just a fairly standard game here. Looked pretty quiet. 38 points, I'd say for him. Don't sell, don't buy. Again, not that I'd say many people own him. Actually, 12% do. So yeah, a little bit frustrating if you own him, but what could you do? The Knights were just all over them really, and he still managed to get a 38 pointer. So I'd be taking that every day of the week after he did well in round 1. So yeah. Mark Nichols scored a try, only played the 31 minutes. Just don't even bother looking at him, because playing 30 minutes priced at 482, that is not what you want. Crossland is actually one that is going to be making a bit of money here. He's probably going to go up about 20k this week, and he's playing a few more minutes than expected. I'm not sure if he got maybe a couple of extra minutes at lock because of Saifidi being injured, but no negatives today. He does usually pick up a few missed tackles, so 38 and 67. He's someone that we could have looked at instead of Mamazelis, but it's just that round 4 bye that's sort of put most people off getting more than 1 or 2 Knights in their team. Excuse me. But yeah, Crossland, someone that is probably going to make a little bit of money, but we just can't really fit him in our team, so I think we can just ignore him there. Now Max Plath, he's one that some people probably have and were looking at after his 62 last week, and he's backed that up with a 36 in 80 minutes. And I just think out on that edge, he's not going to score as well as he did playing hooker and lock last year. And at his price, he is someone that I think you may be able to pivot to another gun. Like if I had Plath, I would probably look to get him to Ponga somehow. But I would say definitely don't buy. Hold if you have faith that he's going to come good here. Otherwise, look to move him on to a gun that is firing. Leo Thompson, after last week, I think he scored 55 points. He's backed that up with a 35, so hopefully no one chased that score there. He did play bizarrely low minutes here, 35 minutes. I'm not too sure why, when he's sort of their main prop, especially when their other main prop's gone down. But yeah, someone that I would definitely not be looking at all. Just an irrelevant player for fantasy wise here. Ray Stone, not really relevant here as well. Oren Keeley filling in for Fine Fuiaki on the edge, didn't play the full game, so that might give us a clue into Fine Fuiaki maybe only will play the 65 minutes as well, who knows. But yeah, 31 points, just probably going to be out of the team next week or back to the bench. So yeah, hopefully no one jumped on him there. Jack Cogger, one that seemed like he could be on to make a bit of money this season, but just hasn't kicked off yet, which is unfortunate. But he is getting a nice healthy amount of kick meters, but we'd probably be hoping that he would get a bit more if you were looking, if you were an owner. But the other thing is he's not really involved in the attack when Ponga and Sharp have their hands on the ball so much in attack. He's sort of just the organising half and just tackling and kicking really. So yeah, if I was an owner, I'd be pretty concerned. Probably give him the one more week before the bye and then reassess there. But yeah, that's probably what I'd be doing with Cogger. Hetherington had another high PPM game, but he's never going to get more than the 25-30 minutes, so stay away there. Tyson Frizzell definitely seems to be a better scorer on the edge. Playing at lock, he had a few horrid knock-ons. PPM way down, and yeah, if you own him, urgent sell. You need to get him out, but I'd say it'd be pretty low here, 1.2%. What would be interesting is if he drops down to, say, 500k, one of the edges go down and he does get named on an edge, but even then it would be questioning whether he gets the 80 minutes at his age. But yeah, one to leave for now and let him drop cash. Josh Kerr, 23 and 19 minutes, very fantasy irrelevant there. Donohoe, one people were having a little glance at last week after his 38 and 42 minutes. He's come back that up with a 23 and 30, so hopefully he didn't jump on there. He's one that, it looks like he's going to get given that 30 to 40 minutes a week, but it's sort of tough to trust. And one guy that you're not going to want to start because you just don't know what's going to happen in a certain game week, and also he's a half, so probably very hard to fit him into your team makeup. So if I did own him here, I think maybe give him one more week because he will still make money. His break even should be in the teens. But yeah, one I'd be thinking about selling if a cash cow did come up. I'd be looking to move him on. Izako backed up a 66 with a 22. He was getting demolished by Mazu this week, and yeah, hopefully no one jumped on Izako after a 2-try 66. Don't chase those points with wingers because they will have a floor of 15, have a very high ceiling, and yeah, that is one I'd just be completely ignoring how he goes every week. Brayley relegated to 26 minutes this week after signing with Canberra. hopefully he can just drop a lot of cash, and then if he gets the start, if Crossland goes down, or he'll be one for next year if he gets the start over in Canberra. So yeah, ignoring him there. Junior Tupou, very quiet. I barely even noticed him, to be honest. So yeah, ignore him. Kafusi, God, he wasn't much use today. He gave away a penalty, locking Ponga's head in with his knees, so not very good there. Not getting the minutes. Huge avoid. Jacob Saifidi obviously goes down with that injury, so he scored a 16. Let's see what he got last week, actually, because he's going to start dropping some cash, and could be one to look at after their bye. So he only got a 33 last week, so he definitely, his price is going to be free falling. So if he got down to maybe low 400s, he would be someone to start looking at for sure, because when he is on, we see that he can average around that 40-point mark. So yeah, we'd need him to get down to maybe low 400s, even high 300s, and then he'd be someone to start looking at. And then we've got Nicarima, 12 points in 80 minutes. It seems like Katoa was definitely the chief playmaker here. Nicarima was just the side piece, and we see it in the fantasy score. So yeah, definitely do not look at Cody Nicarima. But yeah, that was the Thursday night game. Hopefully you had a few of these nights up here, and bring on Friday.